Welcome to the November 14th, 2017 Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. Cindy, can we have roll call?
Sure. Chairman Freer?
Here.
Vice Chairman Avalos?
Present.
Commissioner Gummer?
Yes.
Commissioner Fallman?
Here.
Commissioner Brinkman?
Here.
Commissioner Polican?
Here.
Commissioner Trovini?
Here.
Very good. Okay, so if everybody's had a chance to review the meeting minutes from October 10th, please offer any suggestions for changes. Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve the
agenda too.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped right over the agenda. My bad. So everybody had a chance to review the agenda besides me.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for the 2014-2017 meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. And the agenda has passed. Next, if you've had a chance to review the minutes from the October 10th, 2017 meeting, offer any suggestions for changes, or otherwise I will take a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve October 10th, 2017 regular meeting minutes.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the minutes are approved. Announcements, Mr. Whitty.
Fast and Furious 11, 14, 18. How's that sound? Quite the movie title. All right, we have a host of different announcements of services for the community, so I'm just going to roll through each one of those if I have permission to do such.
Very, very much so, yes.
Just like to remind the public that our ice skating opportunities are now available at the Event Center and will continue through January of 2018. I encourage everyone to take a visit at the town's website, pvaz.net. You'll find the download or the web page for the skating schedules, as well as then also encourage everyone on a daily basis to give a shout to us at the skating hotline. That number is 775-3165. That way you'll have daily updates just in case activities or service schedule changes at the event center, that they can have that immediate notification on what's happening that day. If you visit the website, download each month's calendar, you'll find a variety of different opportunities there. We have various theme nights. There's planned skating for the holiday period coming up. Take a look at that. We'll have skating actually taking place Wednesday through Sunday of this week, so a variety of different opportunities. Several different sessions available to folks in doing that. If you do not have skates, we also have skates available for rental there. So we have both figure and ice hockey skates available for folks. So that is a quick tidbit for information as it relates to dates, times, admissions, and rental fees for the public ice skating opportunities, again at the Prescott Valley Event Center, taking place now through January. Any questions?
Has attendance been good?
Attendance has been very good. It's trending in regards to last season, which was a very positive season.
Good.
Okay. I'd just like to remind everyone again, the 16th annual applications for the Create a Tree program are currently available. Again, it's a downloadable form via the town's website at pvaz.net. This is a free program available to members of the community that would like to promote your group or organization and also help decorate the Civic Center and Prescott Valley Public Library. Encourage everyone to be creative and showcase your artistic flair in building your tree from non-traditional, non-denominational, and non-flammable materials. Very important there. Again, no entry fee or admission into this festive program. These applications are due no later than November 17th, and they will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis in regards to the limited availability of space that we do have for the program. Locations with electricity are also limited, so those will be allocated on a first-come, first-requested basis. If you have any questions, feel free to holler at us on the phone at 759-3090. Again, download the application form. Quite a bit of the questions and answers can also be found and is available on that form itself for review. So encouraging everyone to participate in that. Upcoming, the Valley of Lights at Fane Park. This is a cooperative program with our Prescott Valley Chamber. It's been historical program that's been going on for some time. I think Buzz was maybe perhaps the first one back in, 1953? Plugging those? No, I'm just teasing. 54. Okay, there we go. The Valley of Lights kicks off in Fane Park November 24th and will continue through December 30th. Again, this is a wonderful program brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce and supported by the town of Prescott Valley there at Fane Park. In addition to that, please put on your schedule the Holiday Festival of Lights activities taking place Friday, December 1st here at the Prescott Valley Civic Center. The event kicks off at 5 o'clock with a variety of different musical entertainers from schools from around the area. It's going to start with Coyote Springs Choir. The Bradshaw Mountain Middle School Choir is also involved. Welcoming addresses by the Chamber. Also, our illustrious Mayor Harvey Skoog. In doing such, our Chamber CEO will be reading to our young people the night before Christmas. At 6 o'clock, we flip the switch on the lighting of the Civic Center campus. The guys have been working very, very hard on this. Actually started at the first part of October, and they're still working on the display as we continue, and we're growing with some new attractions for you this year. As soon as the switch is flipped, we encourage everyone to gather around the Civic Center campus out on our multi-use paths and sidewalks, as that will begin the night light parade. That will be coming down Main Street, encompassing the Civic Center campus, and then exiting back onto Main Street. In doing so, Santa will be part of that exhibit. He'll be riding the illustrious fire truck with the team out there and doing those good things. And then as soon as he makes his sachet around the Civic Center, he'll be joining us inside the Civic Center for our free visit and photos with Santa. So plan accordingly for that. That is our schedule that's currently out and available to folks. So again, Friday, December 1st, starting at 5 o'clock, all the festivities kick off. We'll even have some hot cocoa and cookies and mistletoe presented by our Cub and Girl Scouts made available. So,
Thanks.
all right, and we did just mention pictures with Santa, so they're already waiting for us. So, and those photos will be available online through Flickr. So.
Okay.
All right, now we're focusing on some of our winter sports leagues that are going on. So we have our annual Corn Toss League. This is an 8-week event, $30 per team of 2, minimum age is 12 on the participants here. Our games will start January 3rd. If all folks get registered by December 22nd, that's when we'll kick off. These are Wednesday evenings starting at 7 p.m., and all of the games will be played at the Prescott Valley Event Center. Again, you can register online via our website at pvaz.net, or you can give us a call at the office at 759-3093. We'll help you set up your account as well as register your team there. Also available are the Winter Volleyball League. Registrations will open November 1st, or I should say are currently open, and will continue through December 22nd unless our maximum capacity is reached first, and a few of those have filled up on us. We play Tuesdays for co-ed A and B divisions, Wednesday women's A and B divisions, Thursday co-ed C. The game times range from 6:30 to 9:30 at night, and they are played at Glassford Hill Middle School. The cost is $150 per team, and again, we will start a play of that league on January 8th. Also is the I Love PV poster contest. This is in celebration of the town's 40th anniversary that kicks off in 2018. It is a community art contest celebrating the 40th anniversary. This is a free-to-enter opportunity. Poster content will focus on why I love Prescott, the town of Prescott Valley. It is a two-dimensional process and must be of original work. Your entries must be at least 8.5 by 11, but no larger than 18 by 24. It's open to all ages, as there are 5 different age categories for folks to participate in this juried show, with winning entries eligible for public exhibition as well as prizes. For more information or to download an application, again, visit us at pvaz.net or call the department at 759-3090. Submission deadline is Friday, January 12th.
Is that just specific artwork, or can it be? I saw a nice photograph of the Glassford Hill Trail there.
All of those fine and wonderful rules will be available to you on the entry form itself.
Gotcha.
Also like to get everyone planning, as this is an event that does fill up fast, Daddy-Daughter Date Night 2018. Our event is scheduled for Friday, February 16th from 6 to 9 p.m. The cost per couple is $35, with additional daughters at a cost of $15 each. Registration opens January 1st, and we encourage those that would like more information to give us a call at the town offices, 759-3090. Again, these are limited registrations. And again, our event will be held at the La Quinta Inn and Suites and their ballroom there, located right off of Highway 69.
How many openings do we anticipate having?
I believe we had 60 couples available last year. And we were booked and, again, had a waiting list. And last year when we moved the event to La Quinta Inn, we were able to double registration amounts. And we still had waiting. So it is a first-come, first-served situation, and that registration will open on New Year's Day, January 1st.
Very popular event. It's
Very
a great
popular
event.
Lots of good dining and dancing and prizes all over the place. So it's lots of fun.
Yeah, the community really steps up and donates prizes. I think virtually everybody gets a prize or every.
That is correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I would also like to remind everyone the holiday tree disposal program will be in operation again this year. It will kick off on December 22nd and run through January 5th. This is an opportunity for you to recycle your cut holiday trees, of course, minus the decorations and lights and stands and any of those literal other goodies that one might use on their tree. But this is through your Parks and Recreation Department for this opportunity to recycle. Our seasonal dumpster will be located in the south parking lot, and the south parking lot is where the dog park is located in Mountain Valley Park. And at Mountain Valley Park, in the nearest entry roadway would be Nace Lane that you would want to take to reach that most southern parking lot there. Disposal hours will, of course, be park hours, which will be dawn to 10 p.m. daily. And if you need additional information, feel free to give us a buzz. But please keep in mind that artificial trees, wreaths, yard debris, household waste are not permitted as part of this program. It is strictly intended for the recycling of your cut holiday live tree.
And does the town benefit from the chipping of those trees?
We do benefit in that way. Plus, we're also helping to provide an alternate destination as opposed to going to the landfill. So it's used in a whole host of different ways, and working with folks in doing that. That is the large part of benefit of this program. We'll also be looking at it as part of our other benefited program that we'll be looking at announcing on a more of a public scale when all the details are done, and that's in celebration of our New Year's Eve. So we're anticipating a nice bonfire coming forward. Also, Mount Force, working in partnership with the Town of Prescott Valley's Police Department, has announced that they have their Pizza Box Topper Youth Art Contest, looking for creative individuals that are able to construct an anti-underage drinking poster that helps spread the message that drinking under the age of 21 is not okay. Last year, Miss Kayla King was the winner from Bradshaw Mountain High School. The deadline for this project is November 29th, so please take advantage of this opportunity and share your message. Categories are in K through 12 grades. There is a $100 cash prize in each one of those categories, with the winning artwork being used as a pizza box topper. For more information, please go to matforce.org. That's matforce.org. With that being said, I believe we've hit all of our announcements for this evening.
Yeah, very, very quick and efficient. Next is the department update.
I'm happy to answer any questions that the commission may have concerning my individual report for the administration section or the department's report as a whole for the month of October.
Hearing none, move on to the chairperson's report. I just want to thank my other commissioners who were present for the presentation of the annual report. I was unable to attend just to the council a week or two ago. I really appreciate you guys stepping up and covering my back on that. Other than that, I don't have any other new business unless anybody's got some questions for me. Seeing none, Tree Advisory Board. We're having a planning meeting on Friday, November 17th. That's this Friday at 11 at, got the location.
I believe the response has been that we're getting together at 11 over at Sally B's. We'll have a quick lunch for those committee members, and then delving right into items that are listed here.
Yep. So we'll be looking at the strategic plan review, see where we're at with our annual goals, our recertification applications, and the growth award recertification applications. So fun. Don't miss it. And then the second item, the Arizona Forestry Tree Grant update. Brian, do you have an
Yes,
update
sir.
on that?
I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed in regards to where we're at. Our application was received and awarded. There was a little bit of change in regards to the award. We had requested a maximum of $4,000. They went through our application and actually adjusted it down to $3,500. We'll be able to accomplish all of our goals. That change of $500 related to equipment. So not a problem. We'll just make the adjustments in regards to the equipment and the quantities that would be ordered in support of inventories and other items associated with our tree program on a holistic level. Our training of staff will still be moving forward. Our acquisition of trees will still be moving forward. So we're all good there. In addition, they did have requested some change in regards to timeline and reporting associated to our goals. It was basically a format change. So we've accomplished all of those things. In addition to also working with their staff, their director of the program has changed, so they've taken a new position, so there's been some changes in staffing. So just helping bring them up to speed as well through the whole process. So we're good to go as it speaks on that front. So as of today, we just received the signatory papers, so that we'll be able to move forward. And so we'll present those to the town manager and council and get the ball rolling. And once they're signed, that triggers then, or their receipt of that and their signatures then officially triggers our start date, which is actually moved back by about 75 days right now. So. But we'll hit all of our achievements, and our timeline for completion was scheduled for June 30th of 2018. And so we're still well within means of accomplishing that.
Very good. Very good. Any questions for Brian on the tree grant? Okay, moving on to old business. This week, obviously, is the National Junior College Athletic Association's national tournament being held at Mountain Valley Park.
I know, it's pretty awesome. Our second go-around this year, we've increased by 4 additional teams, so we went from 8 to 12. It's surprising that it's just been a few years ago that we hosted our first one. The important part is, yes, it's old business, but it's current business, literally live as we're speaking right now. The tournament's going on. Very proud, as you all are well aware and reading the paper and hearing in the news, that our very own Yavapai Rough Riders are in the tournament this year and doing very well. They performed the 9-0 score last night. They'll also be playing again Wednesday afternoon at 2:30. So I'd encourage not only you to be there, but also sharing with friends and neighbors and encouraging them to come out as well too, and doing such. The tournament will continue. It'll have pool play. So we started pool play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wednesday will conclude pool play based upon the scores and standings at that point in time. We'll be able to announce then the 4 semifinalists. They will play Friday, so we've got a gap on Thursday. Everybody can get rested up. We can address all the field needs and other preparations that need to take place for the semifinals and finals. Semifinals will be played at noon and 3 on Friday, with the finals then being played at 3 p.m. on Saturday. And that will conclude the tournament for this year. So far, Monday night was very successful. I've not heard anything to the contrary via text or phone calls tonight. So looking forward to going there after we're done meeting tonight, getting those results, and continuing our game plan for success. Would like to reflect, I'm very, very proud that literally all the teams have reflected on how awesome the field is down there, which is direct accolades to our parks crew down there and all the efforts that they put in, the extra hours that they're putting in this week in order to accomplish task. And that's coming from teams. These are the 12 best teams in the nation. All of them are reflecting in the same way. The National Junior College Collegiate Athletic Association is just amazed at what we have going on there. They've been out there on the field, seen the play, the lights, our concessions, everything else that's going on out there in support of that, the telecommunications work that we did so that they can provide the streaming of those games, all of that is really, really working well. So kudos to the Rough Riders. Continue that trend. Look forward to seeing you Saturday afternoon. In doing that, again, tell all your friends and family and neighbors, come out, be strong, bring the cowbells, rattle them all the way home. So let's do this thing. So I just wanted to give those few little points of pride because of your support and recommendations. We're achieving tasks. So thank you all very much for that.
We also want to, welcome the teams from around the country. I know various of us have seen the teams from other parts of the country and restaurants and different places and their support groups. So we just welcome them and hope they enjoy Prescott Valley.
Without a doubt. I know our very own Coach Hugh Bell mentioned to me as he was leaving last night, he goes, Brian, I can't say enough. You have given the Junior College Athletic Association an entire new bar to reach for. And so we hope all of the events from here on forward strive to meet what that is. And that's under the leadership of their athletic director, Brett Clifford. He's formulated a lot of this, and that's part of what I take pride in as regards to our partnerships out there in doing that. Folks that come to the table collectively, and he's definitely doing that. So.
Absolutely. It is a point of pride to have a national level tournament or event being held in our community, and Mountain Valley Park, the amphitheater, is a beautiful spot for viewing of any sporting activity, and it's set up perfectly and very well taken care of. So kudos to you and the staff for keeping that up.
Thank you.
Hopefully we get it back every year.
And that's part of the analysis that we do. That's i.e. why we're going at it again this year from our first experience. And so that's what we're very hopeful of. I know they go through a rotational period every 2 or 3 to 4 years because they do like to move it across the country. We see that at the NCAA level as well. So they do those types of things. There are bids that are put in. Again, those partnerships are put into play in doing those kinds of things. So it'll be interesting to receive the feedback, the critiques, and then our analysis of all of that and moving that agenda forward. So hopefully there's appetite across the board. Hopefully we've hit the mark or exceeded the mark, and we want to aim to achieve again.
Plus that home field advantage with this altitude helped.
Can't hurt. Can't hurt. Any other questions regarding the soccer tournament? All right. Next will be the park tour report.
Yes. Again, Friday, November 10th, the Parks and Recreation Commission met. During a work study, there was a park tour that took place. We visited 6 parks, which Bob Edwards, Mountain Valley, the Casa Community Center Park, Antelope, Quailwood, and American Legion were our focus areas in doing such. While we were out and about, we reflected on a variety of different items. Specifically at Bob Edwards, we talked about the upcoming spring reseeding of that park and its new development out there, some low water crossing review, some landscaping in and around the restroom, as well as then preparations for trees at Arbor Day. At Mountain Valley Park, we reflected on the new swing set that was installed there, as also some discussion in regards to cost analysis, cost recovery, as it relates to the amphitheater light system, athletic light system that is down there. That is original to the park, which dates back to 1997, I believe. And now I believe that was the first lamping of any athletic facility at Mountain Valley Park. Secondarily was the fourplex, which still is hitting current standards in doing those things. We also visited Community Center Park, our Casa area, our senior center home. We also, that didn't come out right, the home of our senior association. There you go. In doing those things, we reviewed some of the landscaping, the improvements that we've done, the continued improvements that still need to happen on the west side of that property. We reviewed some weed elements, as well as then when we discussed in regards to also visiting our new capital improvement out there, which is our new Ramada that was recently completed and installed. So all of those things in operation and ADA access to that facility in doing such. Next, we jumped on over to Antelope Park. We reviewed and discussed again some of the possible future construction of the pickleball courts and the rechannelization of that drain area that we have there and how that will be accomplished, as well as then also looking at some of those trees in that park just simply because of its history and the growth longevity of cottonwood trees surrounding that park and those plans. We then ventured down to Quailwood. We reviewed the playground structures down there, their current integrity, past repairs, and then we also talked about some future plans for it, possibility of relating around swings at that particular site. We also had some discussions relating to the parking lot, some crack seal, as well as also some chip seal efforts. We all were able to review and reflect upon how that chip seal effort took place at Tonto North, Fane, as well as American Legion Park. And so talking about some of those efforts taking place there as well. And then just some general maintenance items that we had as well too, there with valve boxes and restroom fixtures and those kinds of things. And then, of course, as I just mentioned, American Legion Park and its restorative efforts that have taken place, the chip seal program and what it was able to do, not only in revitalizing that parking lot, but also the expansion of that parking lot there. And then also looking at our future plans as it relates to sunshades as well as replacement ramadas as a couple of those items there. So that was what my notes reflected from our travels on that particular day, and would welcome any additional comments or input that the commission may have or for adding, and we'll complete those then minutes, and staff will make those appropriate plans and future capital processes. Don't tell me I hit the mark.
I think we're good. Seeing no more comments, we can move on to new business.
If I may, I do want to thank the commission. Friday was your holiday, and I appreciate the 2.5 hours that you were able to spend with us traveling around and doing all of that. So I appreciate your valuing and commitment of our park system and taking that time. So thank you all.
Double time for holiday pay, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And vice versa. Yeah, sure does.
Very good. On to new business, the 2018 field and facility allocation.
Yes, as we all know, we began that process back in October, asking for folks to review what their planning schedules were as it relates to athletic organizations overall, as well as then also facility requests, whether they be meeting rooms, auditoriums, athletic fields, ramadas, those kinds of things, because they have a whole myriad of planning that folks do. But its primary focus is on athletic fields. So staff has been in receipt of those. We're going through, we're making phone calls, sending emails, gaining clarification, understanding of some of the requests, doing those things. Our goal is, and we're strongly on target to get communications out as of tomorrow, Wednesday, which is a 30-day advancement of what we've done in years past. Our goal with all of that is, again, making sure we have clarity, expectations met, all of those kinds of things, reviewing what our field use and room and facility use policies are, and making sure that everything's hit. Also understanding if it has corresponding need in regards to lights for evening use or during the winter seasons, the sun goes down pretty doggone quick, that all of those plans and preparations are put into place, making sure we have the appropriate contacts, yada, 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 yada. So we'll spend the next 30 days. We want to hit this before the Christmas holidays come upon us. We'll get those communications out. We'll schedule follow-up meetings, and then we'll finalize the allocations. Typically, like I said, we're a month ahead of this. So we're going to be well in advance. Everybody can kickstart the new year knowing exactly where they're at, how they're going to be working, and know it for the entirety of the 2018 year. So we're moving right along, and our new staff member, it was mentioned in regards to staff assignments that just recently came on board. This is Bree's first go-around, Brianna Hetzel, in doing that as our athletic coordinator, and she is knocking it out of the park. She has her ducks in a row. She's very well planned and very courteous in regards to her communications and responses and doing those kinds of things. And there's a lot on her plate. And I'm trying to help her through those processes, understanding the hows, the why, the what-fors, different levels of impact, how to plan those, how to rotate them, doing all those types of things, as well as also prioritizing them. And putting that all into play. Because as you know, we have intergovernmental agreement partners, we have our in-house, we have our local, we have our non-resident, we have tournaments, we have profit organizations that we're all working with in regards to planning out an entire year of operations out there. So it adds up, and it starts to become a fun puzzle to work with, and she's doing a really good job with that. So we're looking forward to getting all of that moving forward and out the door, and everyone can have fun and be relaxed and enjoy the new year.
All right, next item is the Polar Bear Splash.
Yes, simply because we will be taking a little break because of all the festivities and activities that we'll be engaged in here with the town. The commission has always taken an annual respite during the month of December, so I would be remiss if I did not announce to folks, and I think that's Buzz right up here at the top in that corner there. We have our annual Polar Bear Splash. And this is scheduled for Saturday, January 6th. It's from 10 a.m. until noon. This is our 12th annual event there at Mountain Valley Splash over on Nace Lane. But I want to encourage you to do something special for me. We have a goal for ourselves. Again, as I mentioned earlier, 2018 is the 40th anniversary for the town of Prescott Valley. We've set a goal for ourselves. We want 40 bears for 40 years. So I need you to find us a bear or become the bear. Okay? Oh, whoa. Just, we'll figure these things out, okay? But I need us to go help us meet that challenge and do some recruiting, share the word, spread the word, and let's make sure that we can accomplish this. A couple years back, we were so doggone close to doing that. But this year, I would really like to celebrate that achievement. And I think it's a good goal to have. 40 bears for 40 years, that's what we're aiming for.
Are we talking about 40 bears from one organization?
40 bears.
Total.
40 bears.
What do we usually have? Maybe a dozen? No. We have 25 maybe?
One year we hit all the way up to 37. But we're generally in that 2 to 3 dozen range. Somewhere right in there in doing that. Now, when we have lower numbers, that's probably because Buzz is in the Speedo again, which, we've had to work on. And that's, I'm not telling you guys anything new. So, he's advertised that. Plus, he's a water polo goalie, right? Right. And Elaine, I think you had mentioned, was, in the 92 Olympics.
Right.
And she was doing that as well, too. So there's a lot of aquatic experience here between. Oh, hockey. My apologies. It
was on the water, though.
It was on the water. So
94, you were the...
That goes back to like my third commission meeting when all of these things were announced and brought to the forefront for me. I was amazed. I did not know we had that kind of recruitment.
Right here.
Well, see, and that's another one of the events. We also have the Ice Princess contest. That's available to all of our gentlemen out there. And basically, that's a reflection and a promotion of the simple fact that, now I'm unfortunately not one of those. I'm follically challenged both on my face as well as on my chest in doing that. But there are other gentlemen that definitely are not challenged in that way. And we encourage everyone to participate. That's where Buzz does excel. And he's participated well, not only as a contestant, he's emceed the event for a number of different years. We're very grateful to have him, as well as then also our MC specifically for this event, for our Ice Princess contest, Miss Jean Lupa, will be coming out of her professional retirement, continuing her spirit of volunteerism in support of these fun, fabulous events. But we want everybody to come out. We've got a 9:30 a.m. pancake breakfast going on that morning. We have duck slide races. We have all kinds of other games and activities for the kids. There's an ice cream eating competition. There's all kinds of make and take activities. A variety of different sponsors will be on place with other activities and games going on. So we really fill that environment up there. With several hundred people are in attendance and participating in all of the activities that are going on. This is 100% free. There are tons of prizes for all of the polar bears that jump in because, that's a very challenging endeavor that they have. There's a lot of athleticism in being a polar bear, but yet it doesn't take a lot of athleticism, okay? But there's tons of prizes. We've had truck winches.
Sunglasses.
Nice. Prizes valued in the hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, there's
in
always
doing that,
lots of
individually
prizes.
and collectively. So there's all kinds of good things going on that's underwater ready for you to grab in doing that. So you do need to be 18 years of age or older in order to be a polar bear. So that's one of the criteria is when you're out recruiting for those 40 bears. But that's what we're aiming for. So let's find those 40 bears for 40 years. Let's get it on our calendar for Saturday, January 6th, 10 a.m. to noon, with the pancake breakfast starting at 9:30. We'll continue to serve that until supplies run out. Got all kinds of different fun and games going on. And to conclude our day, we have the Ice Princess contest, and we look forward to having everybody out there. So, all right.
Is Backburner Cafe providing those pancakes?
This year, we've got some different requests going on. I believe it's Cracker Barrel.
The graphic said Cracker Barrel.
Yes. So I think that's where we're at right now. So in doing that, so
Important to mention.
Backburner has done it for a number of years, and they just said, hey, let's spread the wealth. Let's give some folks a number of opportunities. And so Cracker Barrel was with us last year. We'll be doing that again. So,
Nice.
yeah.
It's a fun event, huge participation. Last year, I think one of the girls in the youth ice cream eating contest was like 2 bites, done. It is. And the competition's getting bigger and better, even in the ice cream eating contest.
Yes.
I mean, it's nothing where these kids are coming out and
They're
saying,
training.
hey, bring it. Yeah, they've been
there.
training for this. And just the prizes. Everybody that actually jumps in the pool, if they can get underwater and grab it, there's enough prizes for everybody there. And some come out with some, and some come out just without.
To come
because they
out.
just want to get out.
Yeah.
But there is rules where they have to jump in at the end and go all the way across the pool.
That is correct. It's
Don't jump
definitely
in
not
and
an in
climb
and
out.
out situation. And as you come across the pool, of course, that's where you're going to find all those prizes. So just reach down there and grab you one, and out you go. And then when you come out, there's a prize waiting for you again as you come out as well, too.
Sounds simple.
Anticipated weather forecast, a high of 46, low of 26.
Oh, well, we're going to work. We need to bring that down. Yeah, it's a little too warm for us.
Water
so.
temperature
Still a couple
will be
months
3
out,
below.
but that's just, seasonal.
Yes, that's a good forecast, yes.
They usually throw blocks of ice in the water. So that,
But yeah, we help if we're challenged in that way. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate that announcement and appreciate your help and helping us reach that goal. So.
Our pleasure.
and I think we can all be confident in Elaine jumping in this year. I think that's wonderful that you're going to do that this year.
Outstanding. Any other comments? Okay, moving on. Nothing listed under other, so we'll go to unscheduled public appearances. Mr. Clayton? So we need you to state your name and your address and that you live out here in Prescott Valley, all that.
My name is Clayton Peck. I live at 5410 North Mesquite Drive, Prescott Valley 86314. I actually came here to talk about potentially having a bike skills park here in Prescott Valley, but actually now after seeing the the Ice Princess Contest. I may actually want to switch my focus to focusing on that this year.
Great.
Figured out. I am a hairy man, so I think I might be in for that one too. But actually, I've been an active cyclist for about 30 years. I've raced at very many different levels. Being close to Prescott, I'm sure everyone knows about the epic events that happen with the Whiskey 50, and most of the trails here in this area are cross-country focused. I've raced cross-country for about 26 years and rode road. I still ride road. I ride all disciplines. But in the last 2 years, I've started to ride more park or flow-type trails, dual slalom, and even BMX. I've kind of gone backwards in my progression, but that just has everything to do with as we get older, we find things that re-spark our enthusiasm into the sport. One of the great things about these bike parks is when I go, it reminds me of like when I was a kid, my parents used to drop me off at the mall, and that's where we all hung out together. So when I go to these bike parks, parents now drop their kids off to these bike parks that are located in Sedona at Posse Grounds, Mesa. They have the Desert Hills Park. They have the Goodyear Park, and Tucson is now in the process of building theirs too. But it is a great outlet for kids. Keeps them out of trouble. I've never seen anything illegal been going on at these parks. These kids are fully into riding their bikes and having a good time. And there's very, very different aspects to all these parks. But I think one thing that is common is that we get kids on bikes early. It does bring community involvement. I've met many parents out there. I'm not sure if they're just concerned that there's some 48-year-old guy out there riding his bicycle with a whole bunch of kids. But at the same time, though, I think it's the way we build community, and it's the way we give back to our youth and mentor these kids properly. We have seen a lot of these kids grow to become pros and be on the world stage, especially in this state. And fortunately, I've had a chance to interact with a lot of those kids. So now that I'm in Prescott Valley, I would love to see something come to this area because, as I talked to Pat before, I am traveling to Sedona almost every weekend. During the summer, I travel to Big Bear, California to ride park. And the only reason is because nothing here in Prescott really appeals to me. And when I first met Pat was at the Gravity Coalition in Prescott when they were talking about having some trails that were focused on going down. And that's what most of the people here focus going up the mountain and how fast they go up the hill. And there's this thing called Strava, and we all rank ourselves on how fast we go up. I'm not really small, so I'm not going to be super fast going up, but I do pride myself in going down. And I even hold the famous savory switchbacks on our Summit Trail here. I'm sure that might have actually upset some people when that happened, but and that is another good point. For people that like to go downhill on a bike, we need a safe outlet, and we need directional trails. Because unfortunately, we will go find those trails, and unfortunately, what happens is we go up trails that people like to climb, and we'll come down those very fast because it's just a different focus of the sport. So having those avenues for our types of cyclists will attract that group to come to this town and want to stay in this town because it's not offered. I'd say anywhere in this area, and there is a huge group of people, as Pat saw, and there's been some, I'd say, concern because they've always talked about doing gravity-based trails, but it never happens because everything is so cross-country focused, and it's kind of set in stone of that culture. And the one thing Prescott Valley could provide is a good, safe alternative for those people to ride and have a good time. My idea was having even a BMX track, dual slalom course like they have at Posse Grounds, and then 3 or 4 flow trails. I think it could definitely help with the economic growth of a shop that could actually focus on these types of activities. Because right now that's not the focus here. And also, I have already spoken to several race promoters on how we could bring actually money to the city. And as you were talking about the soccer tournaments, we could bring world-class regional events to the dual slalom here, 4-cross, BMX, and it would really be something unique that we wouldn't have here in the state of Arizona, and that's anywhere in the Valley or Tucson. We do have some great tracks, but depending on the level we wanted to do, or get the ball started, we could actually bring world-class riders here to this city. So it's just my intent was to come here and just get the ball rolling and see what the next steps would be and open it up.
Well, I appreciate you contacting me, and I'll raise my hand and say that, yeah, I advise Clayton to come to do a little presentation to everybody, just to plant a seed. As you all know, I'm an avid cyclist too. I'm probably more cross country than Clayton's tending to be, but no, we're good. We're good. I don't like to fall, so I mean,
no, I don't like to fall either.
yeah, but I think, in previous meetings when we've had discussions about use of parks and open space, seeing what's happened in Prescott and knowing there's this community out there that does desire more gravity-fed or jumps or skills-based riding, rather than just getting on your bike and pedaling, I think Prescott Valley is a perfect fit for that kind of stuff. That's my personal feelings. We just discussed in our work study, master planning and things like that. And I hearken back to the organization that the pickleball group had coming in to us and doing some footwork previous to coming to the commission. So my suggestion, and maybe some other commissioners can offer suggestions as well, is meet with Brian and interested parties and find out what's available, find out what's able to happen within the town confines, or if there's a private route that can be interested in partnering as well.
Oh, that'd be great.
So
another thing too is Fort Tuthill and Flagstaff, even though they have a lot of elevation there, the park itself doesn't have a lot of elevation, and they do have 3 progressive lines. And progressive lines is the way to go with these parks, is where you have, this way it meets everyone's needs. You have a green line, an intermediate line, and then generally an advanced line. And it's all based on progression and how you build those skills. Each line builds upon to the next line to where you can actually progress to the next line. And hopefully eventually you can get to the expert line. But some people will be fine staying in green or intermediate. It doesn't really matter. It's all about having fun. But Fort Tuthill, being my point, doesn't have a lot of elevation gain. So we don't have to have Glassford Hill. That's not, it's not synced into one area. Just a mild amount of elevation gain based on the flow of the course. We can actually make anything work. So, I just didn't want to say, hey, it has to be a huge elevation gain for us to have fun. We can start anywhere and build upon that. So the Posse Ground Park was built in multiple phases. It's still being built. So, I think if anything, just getting the process started would be a great idea.
Well, we've actually discussed this. When we looked at Granville Unit 6, which is a future park coming online, the south end of that, is that 9 point some acres? And so we were looking at the upper end of that, and that's that really drainage channel through there as a potential for putting in a bike park. We had discussed that with various levels, because we understand how popular that is. And getting with Brian would be a real benefit. But the town has also put in, I know you don't need Glassford Hill, but there are applications for other trails up on Glassford and Prescott as well. We had a couple a year or so ago come in and ask if we would look into putting a trail down to the country club, which is quite a distance, and I have no idea who owns all that property.
Right.
But I think we've talked about it and would be interested. We've never really looked at it hard, but I think there is a need, and I think it would be well used if we could find the space and a way to develop that.
Well, one thing I can say is on social media, if Posse Grounds was never a location before the parks was in existence. So, just to get people recognizing Prescott Valley is a cycling destination, and social media is one of those biggest ways people know about it is through Instagram videos, Facebook videos, and I'm probably one of the biggest contributors in the state when it comes to going to parks. So it would be great to have something in my own hometown that I could actually promote, and I'd still work with all the other parks because we do have a symbiotic relationship that we like to visit other people's parks because that way you do get that tourism, even interstate tourism. But there is a goal eventually. If we had dual slalom courses, we could eventually put on a series. And we do have a major promoter over in out of Bootleg, which is in Boulder City, Nevada, that he does come here during the winter, that does a winter series. And it would be great to be able to incorporate a dual slalom course here in Prescott Valley, Sedona, and also in Bootleg to add to that series. So.
Couple of questions. I used to BMX back in my youth.
Your youth. Oh man.
Couple of questions. Just I'm not too familiar with the idea of gravity fed trails, so just kind of inform me just for my own liking. Like topography needed percent grade. What's that idea?
Ideally, for dual slalom, you probably need about a 10 to 12% grade.
Okay.
So it's like the NBL Olympic courses where they actually start like at a 10-story height and work their way down.
Okay.
It's about the same for a dual slalom course, almost about the same distance. Instead of using one berm at a time, they do 2 berms. But one of the things that is kind of emerging again is the 4-cross or the 8-cross type racing where you send multiple, like a BMX style start, gate start, and then you just have to shuffle yourself into the berms, and you have to pick inside or outside lane. So it's it's definitely something we could definitely. There are companies out there like McGill who did do the Posse Grounds, and Lars Romig would definitely be willing to help us. I've already gotten to contact him, who would love to come out, and they can do a survey, and they can actually look and say, hey, this would be a prime site for that. We understand it is volcanic here, so it may be one of those where we have to grade it first and then build on it. But they do use a surfacing where they actually bring in dirt, you add glue to that, and then it's less maintenance going forward. If there's a major rain, you still have to maintain it. You still have to sweep it. You still have to maintain lips, but just like the new BMX courses, but they're actually less maintenance than a lot of the trails that are natural out in like the U.S. Forest Service, where they won't allow you to use any kind of servicing techniques. It actually makes it faster, more fun, more consistent for people to learn on. So I think it's definitely a better route. So.
Okay. Occupant requirements, just like I remember going to a couple of races in my youth and being able to camp at those locations. Is that something that you guys would look for in that ideal aspect? Is like saying, hey, we want basically a dry campsite that can house 50 RVs, or is that something that's, hey, we'll do off-site housing, just parking?
The new parks here in this state don't have that option. There's there's camping nearby. But what's great here is you have Hampton Inn, you have the Comfort Suites, you have La Quinta. The majority of people that actually ride dual slalom or BMXers, they may camp, and we do have many outlets for that in the local area. But I just say ample parking and bathroom facilities. And then if we do want to do events, having the Start House and the ability to actually have announcements going on, lights at night, that would be the big draw, especially even on the dual slalom. If we had lights at night for the dual slalom to do events, that would be a huge draw, especially if we had a local series.
All right, cool.
That would definitely set us apart from anywhere.
So we're not talking about something that's just in a confined area, something that's more vast, I guess, for lack of a better term, like a ski resort style kind of.
No, actually, it's.
I'm trying to get a visual concept.
Yeah, if you go to Posse Ground or even go to McGill, I can't remember it.
I have the link.
I think I sent it to Pat. But It's a pretty small city park that Sedona's dual slalom is in. I'd say it's probably less than 10 acres.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do in that
It's amazing what you can do in a small area.
area.
And you can have a flow trail that lasts a minute and a flow trail that lasts 45 or about 20 seconds, and then you have the dual slalom. It's about a 20-second course.
Oh.
But that's someone that's super fast.
And-
Majority of people are going to take 2 minutes to 3 minutes getting down.
Since I haven't been to Sedona to see that personally, so you have a return trail to the top?
It's a hike and bike.
It's a hike and bike. Gotcha.
So you can ride your bike up. But for the majority of us, we're just going to hike back up, push our bike up. And believe me, it's worth every bit of it. So on general, I'll do 10 to 12 miles total. I'll climb about 1,800 feet, and that's all hike and bike, pushing my bike up. So Strava tells us a lot. So, but yeah, it's the flow trails are super fun and progressive. In Sedona, it's called Wildcat and Vortex, and they're a combination of berms, tabletops, and then you get into gap jumps on Vortex.
Was that like an all public funded park? Do you know the
It
funding
is.
behind that?
So
whole
it's a
specific-
publicly funded park, and what's I think amazing is it's the city park. So they also have a skate, bike, concrete park that they have at the top. They also have a swimming pool. They have multiple amenities. They have soccer fields. They do cyclocross races there, which I think is another great option for us to do. Once you have a park like that, you bring in NICA, they don't need really big, and that's the new high school mountain bike leagues. They don't need super big areas. So there's a lot of opportunity. Let's say that a park opens our ability to have multiple events to bring people to Prescott Valley. So.
I think the possibilities are endless, especially if there's any future development of a regional park like has been discussed recently in the master plan process and all that. But no, I appreciate you coming and
Most definitely.
and preaching.
Yeah, if anything, the one thing with all the guys who started these parks is that they don't happen by accident, and they suggested that I actually just send an email, and I sent an email this week and got a hold of Pat and just started in the process here, and my goal is to have a park here in town, and whatever options we have, I'd be willing to explore them. So.
Well, thank you very much for coming and talking to us, because this is exactly what we want and what we're asked for as a community. Come in and tell us what kind of recreational facilities that they want. And, that doesn't happen very often. So when you come and talk to us, we start thinking about it, and maybe Brian can, look at some of the potentials. But we had, as I said, already talked about one end and putting in some bike park facilities in Granville Unit 6, which would be a future development. And it does come down to money. But there is some potential, I think, and maybe something we should keep looking at.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Clayton.
Thank you.
Really appreciate
Thank you,
your time.
Clayton.
Well, I'm excited.
Let's get some shovels.
Because I use bike.
Okay, next item on the agenda is just to remind everybody that our next meeting is Tuesday, January 9th, 2018 at 6:30 right here in the auditorium. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
And a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we are adjourned. Thank you, Prescott Valley. Have a wonderful Christmas.